Okay, so listen, we're going to be continuing all day to work on the 1 minute talk because this is how it all comes together, obviously. But I want to spend a little time on speaker math because what becomes really important now that we're putting the talk together, what becomes really important is how do you put all of this together to actually make money? Please put me in the chat if you are here and you've spent 2 days of your life because you actually wanted to learn how to make money from speaking. You wanted to learn how to use speaking to get more clients, to have more impact, more visibility, so that you make more money, so that you have financial freedom, right? All right, I'm seeing the me's. Dr. Michael and Susan. And Dr. Michael, I saw your question earlier about do we have a program that teaches people to be captivating in speaking? Yes, we do. I'll talk about that later. So I want to talk to you a little bit about speaker math. So if you go to page, give me 1 second. Let me go over a few things with you. Let's go to page 36. We're going to run through a few things. So page 36 in the workbook, grab your workbook and you're going to see it on page 36. How do you take your talk and expand it? How do you take your talk and grow it? So, as I share this piece with you, I'm going to go over this in more detail later this afternoon, but I want you to at least have an understanding of it. So you're going to use a 60-second talk for connecting, for a networking event, for any time you're invited to stand up and share about yourself. You're going to use a 60-second talk for video online. You're going to use a 60-second talk for social media, right? You're going to use a 60-minute talk for speaking, workshops, webinars, master classes, on-stage speaking, off-stage speaking. A 60-minute talk could be a Facebook Live. It could be a challenge, all of that. We're on page 36 now. 60 hours. So basically what I've done is we've had about 12 hours together, or we will over these 2 days. How I use, I will take my 60-minute talk, I'll take my 60-second talk and expand it to 60 minutes. I'll take my 60-minute talk and expand it to 60 hours, right? Or 12 hours or 6 hours. And that becomes an event, a program, a social media, becomes all my challenges. So if you take a look at this, right, and you really just start to continue to build this out, you're looking at, where did my good marker go? Sorry. You're looking at a 60-second talk. And you're looking at then moving that into 60 minutes. So how do these change, right? A 60-second talk, right, really is just a singular story with an offer. But a 60-minute talk, you might have 3 to 5 stories. You're expanding those stories. Your offer isn't just a few sentences, but you might spend 10 minutes or so being more in development of your offer. Then when you move into 12 hours or 60 hours or whatever it is, you're taking the same, and also not just 3 to 5 stories in 60 minutes, you're also having 3 to 5 education points where you can only have 1 education point in your bullseye. Then when you're talking about a 60-hour, but let's just use this event as an example, about 12 hours, I'm probably teaching about, give or take, 15 different education points. You've heard me already in a day, and not even a day and a half, a day and a quarter, you've probably heard me tell 10 stories, right? Probably when this is over, you'll hear me tell 12 or 15 stories, right? So it literally just begins to expand. And the reason we start with the 60-second is this is your one thing. When you're able to nail the 60-second, it's much easier to expand because it's just more content, more teaching points, more stories that represent that. When you get into the 60 minutes, of course, you start adding in, as somebody asked just a few minutes ago, case studies and examples and samples, and you add more of those case studies. I've actually had some people, you're going to hear from a guest here in a few minutes. I've had people come on live here to share. I'm really big on models, samples, examples, models, samples, examples, and you can give more models, samples, and examples the more you extend this out. So we'll continue talking about this as the day goes on, but now you can see how this, oh my gosh, I keep losing everything today. I'm so sorry. Now you can see how this expands. Now you can see how this expands, and that's on page 36. I'm going to teach you page 37 later today. Page 37 is really important. It's really important, and I want to spend more time on it. But I want you to understand how you actually utilize this to make money before we go into page 37. So we will come back to page 37 in a little bit, but I want you to move to page 39 with me. I want you to move to page 39 with me. So here's what it starts to look like when you start to make money. And I want to share this with you before I have Ann Gordon come on. And Ann, I told you, Ann has a fascinating business. It's going to blow your mind. And she's going to talk to us about how she uses speaking to do everything that we've been teaching you these last 2 days. But I wanted you to understand, how do you get paid to do this? So if you look at page 39, here's a great example. You have one free gig. You book yourself to speak for free. There's only 25 people in attendance at that event. We're talking about small gigs. From that 25 people, you make a free offer, right? You make a free offer. And I think I might move over here because I want to write some of this out for you. So usually, tear it down. So 25 people in the room, you're making a free offer. Typically, my clients will convert 30 to 40% of a room making a free offer. So we're saying you'll convert 30 to 40% of those 25 people into your free offer that we worked on yesterday. So you see here, that's 8 people. That's 8 people. So if right now you have a $5,000 coaching program, fill in the blank for whatever it is for you. Maybe you have a $2,000 consulting program. Maybe you have a $3,000 package, whatever it is. I'm just using a $5,000 coaching program as the example right now. Out of those 8 people, you should be converting a minimum of 20%. If you have the right coaching, if you have the right strategies around sales, all of that, which my clients do, you should be converting 20%. So that's about 1.6 or 2 people into that $5,000 program. Off of that one speaking gig with 25 people in the room, you just made $10,000. You do that twice a month, that's a $20K month. When you hear my clients and they share their numbers, this is how they're getting them. Look at page 40. Same concept, except now we move into making some paid offers. So you have 25 people at the event. And I put in here that you were paid $1,000 honorarium. Sometimes that happens for speaking, but 25 people there. And now you're going to make a paid offer like Jessica Terzakis. You heard from her earlier today in the video. Jessica started off speaking for free everywhere she could. She was a school teacher. And then she created a program that was $1,997. And she started to sell that from the stage, right? That's usually a great first step. So you go to a speaking gig. You're making a $2,000 offer selling from stage. Usually, typically, my clients can close about 20% from the stage, right? So that is 5 sales, right? So that's about 5 sales. That's $10,000. Now, as you build out your money mountain, you're going to have cross sells, upsells. So that means that somebody buys something for $2,000 from you, but they're going to have a next step. So maybe this is a group program and your next step is higher level private coaching and they're ready for that. Usually 30 to 40%. What's wrong?
Okay, you're something weird.
Okay. Usually 30 to 40% of people who buy from you will buy the next level from you. And let's say that next level for you is $10,000. Then you've got 2 people who bought at $10,000. That's another $20,000. So now you're making $30,000 off of one gig, and you guys can do the math. Do that twice a month, and now you're at a $60K month. we're not saying they're all paying you in full. This is cumulative. It compounds, right? So how do you make $1 million in a year? All of you have seen a million things online about how to make money online and how you can have $1 million year, but speed and simplicity, people, speed and simplicity. The way you make $1 million in a year, the way you make $1 million in a year is you can book yourself for 3.9 gigs a month, 25 people in those gigs. And you simply use that exact formula we just used. Later today, I'll actually use an example of somebody and show you with a real world example. I'll call in somebody from the room and show you how to do this. But 3.9 gigs a month that have 25 people, or simplify it even more, 2 gigs a month with 50 people. You make your free offer, your fabulous free offer, and you convert them into your products, programs, or services. It is that simple. And we've made it complex. The internet has turned making money and building a business into some kind of crazy black magic when you can do one thing. Now, here's the thing. You got to be good at speaking. Here's the thing. You got to know how to make that offer. Here's the thing. You got to captivate a room. Here's the thing. You got to get attention. We live in an attention economy. But when you learn that skill set and you work on mastering it, like Ann Gordon has, and I'm getting ready to bring her on, this is how you create $1 million in revenue a year. You can work part-time and make multiple 6 figures, 2 gigs a month, 4 gigs a month. This is exactly how you do it. But you get great at what you do. You get super captivating. You tweak your free offers and your paid offers, and you scale and you use the volume to do it. How does that sound, everybody? I want to hear in the chat, when you see me write this, when you see me share this, how does that resonate for you? How does it land? Where does your mind go? I want to see. Doable. I love that. Somebody said scary. Somebody said, maybe it's scary, but I think it's exciting because I think we overdo and we're overusing and we're trying to overdo it. Somebody said I got butterflies in their stomach. My mind is blown. Friggin' awesome. Common sense. Simplified. Simple. I love talking. I can do this. Consistency is the key. It's exciting and scary. I believe that, Ruthie. Absolutely. It's exciting and scary. Well,